Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
You asked if you could get some days off during the long holiday, right?
Yeah, Golden Week, such a long
You
holiday.
didn't seem too keen on today's session either. Did you have some other engagement in mind?
My engagement to you? I mean nothing.
You're just cutting me too much slack. Thanks, though. It's nothing to do with work. There was something that made me realize how powerless I am.
Oh, Rise, don't feel that way. So many people are supporting me for my comeback, but no matter how much I throw myself into rehearsals, all I can think about is how I was nothing but a burden in the incident yesterday.
Rise-chan?
I'm okay. Were you worried I'd quit again? I'm still set on getting back into showbiz, once I shake off the rust from my hiatus.
I can tell that much from watching you practice. Still, maybe you need a breather.
Huh?
The publisher consulted me about maybe rescheduling the photo shoot.
No, don't go to the photo shoot. Perfect Blue is happening in my head right now. Don't go to that photo shoot.
When I told them doing it later would be problematic since you're still a student, they decided to reschedule for another time. So, take a nice break tomorrow.
Inoue-san.
Oh, what a nice guy. There were some doubts. I had my doubts in the first one, where it was like, I couldn't tell if he was, because a couple, like, we were talking about Kaname and stuff, I couldn't tell if he was, like, trying to guilt her into coming back, or if he legitimately cared about her. I feel pretty confident about him being a good guy now.
But things will be busy after the long holiday. The success of your comeback project is on the line here.
I really appreciate it. Can you let me off at Okina Station today? If I have tomorrow off, I want to stop by the studio and practice a little more.
Huh? But wouldn't it be late by the time you're done? Why don't I take you straight home?
There's not enough room at home. Please? I'll go straight home after I practice a little.
Well, alright. But don't push yourself too hard, okay?
I won't. Actually, though, you shouldn't coddle me so much either. Okay, Inoue-san?
Do 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 boo do do boo do boo. It's gone now. It's no longer here for me to sing to. It's unfortunate. Oh, but it's another good music. Through the train window, I can see the countryside with only a few lights in here and there. The train was empty to begin with, and it only gets emptier. The train was empty to begin with, and it only gets emptier as we approach the final stop.
The long holiday, huh?
This holiday was supposed to cap off with just work and rehearsals. Even when I heard Yu-senpai was coming back, I was the one who decided not to change my plans. When I told the others, they said stuff like, oh, well, work's work, and hang in there. Kanji was the only one who acted all like a kid, saying, what's more important to you, your work or senpai?
That reminds me.
I should have done...
Naruto-kun had to work during the holidays, too.
I should have done, like, her impersonating Kanji. Kanji. God, I met somebody who calls him Kanji, and it screws me up now. I bet Naoto-kun wouldn't have gotten all invasive about these things, indecisive about these things. When I sigh and take out my cell, I notice I have an email.
Oh, it's from Yukiko-senpai.
It's a summary of what the investigation team talked about today, and the time we're meeting tomorrow.
Goodness, at 6 a.m.? That's early. I bet some of those guys are gonna be late for sure.
I don't think Kanji wakes up until 12 most days. I laugh, but it quickly turns into a sigh. I have tomorrow off thanks to Inoue-san. And while I'm happy to go and see everyone, I'm a little bummed out too. I couldn't do anything during that incident. I don't remember anything else about that day after I finished shopping for dinner at Junes. When I came to, I was already in the announcement room in the TV world, under the surveillance of General Teddy. In the end, it turned out that General Teddy was Labrys' shadow taking on Teddy's form. The shadow was holding this event called the P1 Grand Prix and forcing my senpai to fight each other in it. Since I was captured, they used my voice and likeness to goad everyone into hurting each other. I thought I sounded cool saying I had to work, but I got kidnapped, imprisoned, and watched them use my face and voice to confuse everyone.
At this rate, I can barely face Senpai and the others.
Oh, I feel some character development coming on here. Senpai will be going back tomorrow. As I think about Fuka-san, who had such tremendous powers that she could help Mitsuru-san's group by describing what was going on in the TV world, even from outside. I wish I could be that useful.
The next stop is Yaso Inaba. Yaso Inaba.
Uh-oh. What is this? What is this secret power? What the... that was a weird place to cut the announcement off. All of a sudden, all the lights in the train turned off, and the train that had already begun to slow down to its last stop grinds to a halt.
Oh no! A blackout?
I look out the window to check. A huge red moon dominates the sky. And in the direction the train was heading off, there looks to be a giant red cocoon. Is that fog?
What is that? Inaba's that way.
I turn around. There's no one on the train. They've all disappeared. The train car was pretty empty, but I'm positive I wasn't the only passenger before.
No way. What's going on? Oh, right, my cell.
Thinking I might be able to find something out if I contact someone, I look at the phone I'm still holding after checking my email. But it seems to have turned off by itself since the screen remains black. No matter how many times I press the power button, it won't turn on.
It's broken? Of all the times. Guys, you senpai.
Apart from the confusion, the sensation I know all too well starts to rise in me. I can't believe it, but there's no mistake.
This feeling, it can't be. It's like I'm inside the TV.
Whoa. I'm moving before I can think twice. I yank open the door using the emergency lever and jump out onto the tracks. I begin running towards the Yasuinaba train station. Now is not the time to stay and cower here. Atta girl, Rise. Charge headlong into battle. To be continued. Alright. Now for side Naoto. Okay. I was afraid it was going to go on, like, for a long time, and now I don't feel too bad about it. Like, I don't feel like I've made a poor choice or whatever. I'll come back to you soon, Rise. Don't worry. I will return. Just gonna go hang out with Naoto for a little while. Gotta go solve all of the mysteries. The mysteries of life. Not just the criminal mysteries. Naoto is off solving the mysteries of life, the universe, and everything, I bet. Inaba PD. Oh yeah. The clock's ticking echoes through the room as I look up from the file I hold. It seems I yearn for some mental stimulation to distract me from the sheer volume of information I'm attempting to process. But whenever I look up, all that's before me are the tall stacks of files that I brought in from the reference room. All of these references on the Shadow World. It can't be! Even when I cooperated with the investigation as a detective, I'd only been in this room a few times. They must have ushered me into the drawing room on the highest floor of Inaba Station today in order to send a message. Don't draw attention to yourself. I lower my hat to rest my eyes and spend some time thinking back on the conversation I had a short while ago.
I see. In other words, nothing suspicious is apparent in the current Kirijo group.
Correct. There are no factors that would necessitate deterring Mitsuru Kirijo or the shadow operatives which she leads.
The man holding my report falls silent, pondering something. His reaction shows that he most likely foresaw what sort of report I'd hand in. The well-dressed man before me belongs to the National Police Agency, Security Bureau, Security Planning Division. Whoa, that's a title and a half. Or in brief form, the Public Safety Police. It was he who requested the undercover investigation into Mitsuru-san's shadow operatives.
Mitsuru Kirijo seemed to have some idea who stole her cargo, yes?
The man from Public Safety. The man from MI5. The man from Uncle. So any title, it's like the man from, followed by some kind of organization or something. It's a good name for someone. Not as good as Driving Man. Man from Public Safety's not bad though.
She did indeed. To begin with, the culprit knew the contents of the cargo, which even Miss Kirijo herself did not fully understand. It follows that the culprit in this case was someone with intimate knowledge of the Kirijo group's dark secrets.
It's a mole. What if her dad is still alive? What a twist! The culprit was Mitsuru's dad.
How Mitsuru Kirijo deals with this culprit will surely shed more light upon her true motives.
Half of that is true, and half of that is sophistry. I think that's how you pronounce that. I knew reading Naoto's stuff was gonna be hard. She uses lots of big words, and when I'm reading fast and not stopping to look stuff up, it's gonna be bad. I need to deliver the trump card that public safety is hiding. No, discover the trump card, sorry, not deliver. For most likely, that trump card will lead us to the culprit of this case, the one who stole Labris and threw her into the TV world. After a moment of silence, the man places a stack of thick folders before me. As if he had prepared this in advance... Wait, hold on. If he had prepared this in advance, that means he was weighing his options. Okay, yeah. He knows of my intentions, yet he must have made the decision that what they stand to gain is worth the risk.
Report to us again when you find out more.
With that, the man leaves the room. It seems my gamble paid off. What if he's the culprit? He could be the culprit. Because I feel like, I don't know, like, this is, again, setting up a mystery. We need a culprit. And generally, for a good mystery, whoever the culprit is has to be an established character, you know? So I'm tentatively putting it on him. Though it could be Risei's manager, because they've just suckered me into thinking he's a good guy. Who knows?
Whether
We'll find
I find out more or not, it's certain that something will happen.
Something is gonna happen. Labris' kidnapper hasn't been caught, and the case is ongoing. Even now, there may be developments somewhere. My friends on the investigation team must be having a strategy meeting at the food court around now. They are completely useless. It's been a while since any of us have seen you, Senpai, so the conversation may have already digressed. Actually, to be fair, they kept pretty much like focused in on the subject at hand. Sighing, I force aside the twinge of loneliness and drop my gaze to the file that my gamble won.
The Kirijo Ergonomics Research Laboratory. An organization specializing in research upon shadows.
Man, Naoto, you're the most, competent person here. What I demanded of public security was an investigative document on the Kirijo Group Research Institute, which no longer exists. The founder of that institute was Mitsuru-san's grandfather. Not gonna try and pronounce that. The contents of the report were filled with matters that were hard to believe. The Dark Hour, a different world populated by shadows that seems to intrude on the real world. The mysterious, almost alien artifacts known as Plumes of Dusk that can induce a personality. Humanoid robots called anti-shadow suppression weapons that were developed to oppose shadows. Artificial persona users who gained their abilities with special drugs. Had I not seen Aiga-san and Labris-san with my own two eyes, the supernatural contents of this file would seem ludicrously implausible. I don't know. You do know about the alternate dimension in the TV that you've been jumping into for the last year? Just want to point, I mean, not that it's not, it is implausible. Just want to point that out.
Flood of shadows and the manifestation of personas. There are many similarities to what we experienced. The chief difference is that their catastrophe was artificially induced in the name of research.
Yeah, that was kind of a... somebody screwed up, okay? I ain't gonna say who. Ain't gonna name names. Somebody screwed up. I sense an unwavering commitment to my duty from Mitsuru-san and her team. Though they, like us, are persona users, the horrors in this file must be why I detected a very different type of resolve from them.
I hesitate to look into such matters without their consent, but I doubt they would volunteer much.
Naoto, you're not a cop, but... No, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you're a cop. You're allowed to do this. From what I can deduce, based on this, you know what? You were hired by the public safety people. You're a cop, or you're at least a consultant. You're good to go. The culprit in Labris' case is without a doubt related to Kirijo. And ergo, research. The clue that leads to the truth has to be here. We will find the truth! And if by chance something were to happen to Mitsuru-san and her people, we would need to know more about our common enemy. I just realized that's the first time they've dropped truth in this. I don't think they've dropped bonds yet. I think at the end of this LP, I'm gonna have to go through and count up the number of times that they say truth and bonds. It'll be pretty funny.
Shuji Akutsuki took the position of chairman at Gekkokan High after Ergo Research was disbanded. Mitsuru-san went there.
Yeah, Gekkokan
deceased
High.
in 2009. Cause of death: falling from the school's observatory. Was it suicide? No listed family.
No, I don't know anything about that one. There is no other information in regards to him in the documents I gained from public safety. The simplicity of the section in regards to this... I should be able to pronounce his name, but I haven't actually played Persona 3. I've just watched a decent amount of it. I'll screw it up. Shuji, whatever. Ikutasuki. Whatever. An obviously important person oddly left an impression on me. Not oddly, Naoto. You have a shrewd eye for these types of things. You notice the things that other people don't. Alright, moving on. Let's do research. Gotta do book learning. Learn from those files. I finished reading over the material, but to be honest, it tells me little. Most of the principals involved are already deceased, including... yeah, all these guys. The Persona users whose abilities were artificially awakened. Yeah, we killed them pretty good. Still, I do learn something. The culprit's objective in Labrys's case had similarities to the purpose of Ergo Research. To deliberately gather shadows in order to fuse them together. If that was the objective, wouldn't the TV world have been an ideal place for a test run?
It may be best if I check inside of the TV world once more.
You better get backup for that. I mean, you're tough, and you have a gun, and you have a persona. So no offense, Naoto, but like, I mean, just, you know, go in with a group. Go get you and the other guys. Join you up with that. When I open my cell phone to share my findings, scant though they may be, I notice that the hour is late. It's almost the next day.
It's a bit late to call them. Which reminds me, I think I heard thunder earlier. Could it have rained?
Yeah, have a look outside and see if it's raining. If, like, basically, if you're in Inaba and it's raining and it's almost midnight, your friends are still awake. That word rained gives me pause. During the incident with Labrys, the Midnight Channel was broadcasting again. If her case is truly ongoing, what does that mean? It could come on tonight. Who knows these things? A bad feeling crosses my mind.
A call at this hour? From an unknown number.
Uh-oh. Mysteries abound.
Hello.
I got through. Miss Detective? Wait, no. Naoto-kun, right?
Hey, Labrys! Good to see you, girl. It's nice to see you.
Voice. Is that you, Labrys? What's the matter?
Yo, mysteries abound!
We got a big problem.
Yeah.
Mitsuru-san and the others were on their way to Inaba, but they've gone missing.
I like that Labrys knows what's up enough that the first person she calls is Naoto.
Missing?
So we were gonna go look for him, but these weird guys came barging into the Shadow Operatives lab. I'm the only one who got out.
Whoa. Because I'm a badass. The Shadow Operatives research lab was attacked? Could it be the enemy? No, that's not it. This is most likely...
Calm down. Can you describe anything unique about the people who invaded your headquarters?
Well, I mean, they had glowing yellow eyes and black skin. I don't know what that means.
They came in a big group. They wore suits. They showed this paper-looking thing, and they said something about an investigation.
It's totally public safety. I called it. Yeah, that's right. I have my suspicions, but there can be no mistake. Though the Kirijo group and public safety are formally in cooperation, public safety privately has a low opinion of the Shadow Operatives, hence their request that I perform the undercover investigation. How does that work? Is there like an official acknowledgement that shadows and creepiness exists? Or is it just like the X-Files, you know, where it's like there's Mulder and Scully and nobody takes them seriously, but they're just around because they must have been found out. Dude, I just blew my own mind. I want a version of X-Files. It's just Mitsuru, Akihiko, Aigis, and Labrys going around and solving crazy, wacky mysteries. They should hire me. I should be a writer. Alright, But Mitsuru-san's disappearance, could it really be related to the public safety's move? Labra said a second ago that Mitsuru-san and her people were headed to Inaba. Why? Well, I think carefully. Sorting through this new information, I ask Labras for more details.
What's your present situation?
It's gonna cut off right here, isn't it?
I can't go back to the lab, right? Even if I could, I wouldn't know what to do without Mitsuru-san around. But then I found out the Shadow Operatives got these special folks who only get called up in emergencies. I just met up with them a minute ago, and we're about to go look for Mitsuru-san and them.
Understood. I'll cooperate as well. I'm sure the others won't say no either. We'll all try searching for Mitsuru-san.
Really?
Click.
Thanks.
Labras.
No, not yet, okay.
There's something else I'd like to ask. Why was Mitsuru-san headed for Inaba?
I was half expecting this just call to cut off as soon as Labras called in.
If I remember right, they found a weird shadow reading over there, so they were gonna go look into it.
A weird shadow reading?
An abnormal shadow reading is detected in Inaba, and Mitsuru-san and her people go missing while they headed out to investigate. Even if this isn't unrelated to the public safety matter, I can't overlook this detail. Mitsuru-san and her people are Persona users and extremely skilled ones at that. If they are in a situation with no means of contacting help, then whatever enemy they face must be formidable. And the first such enemy who comes to mind is the culprit who kidnapped Labras and forced us to fight in the P1 Grand Prix.
She said the reading spiked all of a sudden. Did something happen over there?
Nothing springs to mind. Oh, sorry, hold on a moment.
Yeah, please hold on a moment, I guess. I'm putting you on hold. I have to go and, like, I don't know, check my email or something. I check the clock on the wall of the drawing room. It's almost midnight. If there was an abnormal shadow reading, the Midnight Channel could be involved. I need to find a room with a
I'm
TV.
sorry, but let's continue this on the move. We should meet up at the very least. Actually, is that a helicopter I hear in the background?
Yeah, I'm surprised you can tell. We have a maid piloting one right now.
Wait, a maid? Wait, what? I'm confused. A personal helicopter and a maid piloting it. I never thought of my family as poor, but thinking back to that limousine, the Kirijo clan seems to be on a completely different level. Windows, that's a...
Let me think of a place where
that's
a
not Windows
helicopter
8.
could land around here.
It's Windows 7. Japan knows what's up. Uh-oh. Now, Toby, you need to go faster next time. However, in defiance of all these facts, an unnatural stillness pervades the air. A blackout? A blackout? Otacon, what could be happening? No, that's not it. The roaring helicopter rotors on the other end of the line have also fallen silent. My cell phone has gone dead, as if the batteries were drained. I try a few things, but it won't even turn on. Have all the electronics here stopped working so suddenly? I open a nearby door to get a better look at my environment. The empty room is hazily lit by an eerie red glow coming from the window.